great food. We had food on demand where you could press the seat back and get food so you didn't have to wait for a cart. We tried to be very hip and appeal to a tech-savvy audience. We were the first to have in-fleet Wi-Fi. We were consumer-focused. Everything that we did, we thought about what was the consumer doing. So those were our three pillars. We were trying to be hip, innovative, and always about the consumer. Now, I mentioned before that Richard Branson, his businesses are always about the consumer, so that made sense to have that be a very strong part of our DNA. We wanted the airline to be confident and friendly. Obviously, in the airline industry, you need people to feel safe. You want them to feel secure when they're flying. You can't be this totally crazy, irreverent brand, right? You need them to feel like they can be on the airline and be happy. And the mission was...
Talk about that what we do is we make people feel and look as good as they are. And we do that through their favorite t-shirt that happens to have a brand logo or a rock and roll logo. And so, you know, it's favorite, it's current, it's hip, it's relevant. But, you know, at the end of the day, what we love to talk about is not the attributes, soft and all that, but it's really how it makes you feel and look. So more benefits benefit focus as opposed to attribute focused.
Great, great. So when you're looking at this, can you think of three kind of core attributes for your company?
I like hip. That's, I mean, that's certainly, I mean, although sometimes.
It's all right.
And I have all these ideas in my head, and I'm trying to figure out how to get them down on paper. So right now I'm in the process of writing it, so this is perfect.
Okay, so good. So what I want you guys to do is actually think about if you were condensing everything down to one page, how would you do it? I want you to pull out the most important things with your company. And the way that I've built this chart, actually, I talked about Dave McClure, who had the SlideShare presentations. He has a great presentation all about the one-page business plan. So I've stolen a little bit of his thinking here. But in the startup world, a lot of the startup world in San Francisco is all about getting new members quickly, right? It's all about how do we get more people into our company, into our business? So looking at kind of three buckets of people with your brand. You've got your visitor. That would be somebody that would be coming to use your product once. Distributors. Obviously, based on what the business is, there's going to be all sorts of different people that could be distributors. Dan, we talked a little bit. I know that you're going towards a target that's a little bit older, 40s, 50s, 60s, right?
Yeah, that seems to be sort of the demographic. It's those that sort of have an interest, a passion for the technology, but are just so overwhelmed at how fast it moves, and they love this new thing that they have in their laps or on their desks, but they have no idea how to use it.
Right. So you might have a potential partner where, let's think about where do we know that that group of people is always going to be, right? There may be a conference, there could be a community of some sort. So who are these partners that you can look for? Jeff, obviously in your business, you've got distributors, you've got partners that are probably introducing you to musicians, to rock bands, but maybe you can give me an example of a distributor in your business model.
Well, I'll just start left to right. I mean, the way I look at it, the way you frame it is a visitor is somebody who gets a t-shirt as an end user and there's a company that might be interested in and such. And then a distributor, we actually work with thousands of promotional marketing firms across the company that represent corporations, rock bands, so on and so forth, and then they actually are out there representing us and ostensibly being our extended sales force.
Great, great. Tracy, how about yourself? I know that you have the calendar, and if I'm putting you on the spot, you can always pass too. So.
Well, I mean, that's kind of why I'm here.
Yeah, good.
Learning from you, because I have a lot of ideas, and I'm trying to kind of focus it, and it's also with that is also you know, kind of also narrowing down.
All sorts of things, open rates, opt-out rates, you can be testing it all the time. For Virgin America, about 30% of our total revenue was driven off of email. People forget about the power of email. It's somebody basically saying, hi, I want to give you my information so that you can come and be part of my company and I can buy things from you. Another example, and again, we'll talk about this, but these are, I want you to think about all the different channels and the different way you could get a customer. So it could be an event, could be one way you could get them. Another way that we were getting customers was natural search or paid search, so SEO or SEM, okay? Now for us, for the airline industry, natural search would be if I'm typing in Virgin America or if I'm typing in flights and you want it to come up on a Google ranking. I knew that as long as we were bidding under $8, that was effective. The way that we had set that was that our online travel agencies, are you following me? Online travel agencies, Orbitz, Kayak, any of the people that were giving you a lead, would charge us $8 to get a customer. So I knew if I could bring somebody to our website direct without the online travel agency, $8 was my highest bid, okay? So what I want you to start thinking about in your business, all the different channels and how can you bring in customers. So thinking about Ito, who has the skincare products, when he started, he had Home Shopping Network. That was one channel. He had Target. He's got CVS and Walmart, and he also has direct on his website. All those channels are going to have different costs. So I want you to start thinking about, Dan, you've got people that are coming direct to your site. That's going to be one cost. You might do something where you go to an event or you go to a trade show, and what you would need to do is analyze how much did I spend, how many new customers did I get, divide them out, and you've got your cost per acquisition, right? Again, putting these CPAs in place, and you're going to learn as you go. You're going to change your numbers. But then you need to think about all your conversion metrics. You need to think about what are the events.
Increasing digital world. It's a lot talking about social media and businesses that are all working online. There's very few tangible branding things that matter. And so that's why we saw that there was a niche to actually take advantage of that. And as it relates to branded wearables, there's a chasm between great brands and inferior branding. So we saw that as a niche to take advantage of. From a product perspective, as I said, our vision and mission is to make people look and feel as good as they are.
Right.
And we do that through the best fitting, softest.
Want to have lunch with and talk to. So I think that you have kind of a good energy for that. So I think as the front for your company, that you are going to be very likable. You have to make sure that you have the credibility and that you don't take it too low where
True.
it's too
Too
fun,
buddy-buddy.
too buddy-buddy, that you want to be smart and likable.
Exactly.
But I can totally see that.
Yeah, good.
For my idea for Seattle Yoga Source, let's see, the way that I see it being different is it being unpretentious, very down to earth, and I would like to really feature the sort of some ideas I think for.
Can I ask you one question about that? Do you have a personal story that's also important about why you're passionate about yoga, or something that could show people why you're really excited about this business?
I do. I've done 3 teacher trainings myself, and I've taught prenatal yoga, and I've studied it for sort of on and off for 20 years, and it's brought a lot of inspiration to my life. It's helped me just to stay healthy. It's given me some practices just to stay focused and through meditation and things like that. So, but I would like to, as I said,
it's hard to without seeing what they are, it's actually kind of hard to know how it would fit together. But, if you could figure out the way that they fit together, maybe it would be so different and unique that it would stand out, right? So that would be my question is, where's the overlap of clothing and pastries? I'm not really sure. Maybe they could tell us about that. If I was looking at it just, purely as a straight business, I would have to